Once we have our project underway, we've set the start date, we've saved the baseline, we can then start using the project file, and we have one here. My Kitchen Project is the working file for marking and updating task progression as you go. Now, this can be done on a task by task basis as it happens, or it can be done perhaps say updating once a week or once a day or once a half day. It really depends on the makeup of the project, when and how you update the project file. However you do it, the capability is there to do it frequently or infrequently. So if we take My Kitchen Project and assume that today, as we can see here, is December the 27th, and our project started here, or should have started here, and we want to update our tasks. So we take the first of those tasks, empty in the cupboards. If I go to the task ribbon, we'll see there's a nice little section here where there are a number of bars: 0, 25%, 50%, 75%, and 100%. This allows you to mark your task as part done by any of those percentages. So half done, a quarter done, three quarters done. We'll see shortly how you can mark a different percentage, but usually that's accurate enough. I've done it, I'm halfway through, I'm three quarters of the way through. So emptying the cupboards, not a problem, 100% done. And you can see on the Gantt chart, we get a blue bar through the middle of it to indicate that we've got all the way to the end as far as progression is concerned. And because it's 100% done, I get a little tick over in the indicator. This task was completed on 12:19, which is the scheduled time. Remove table and chairs. Again, 100%. Now, if you have a number of tasks that you're just coming here to update and they've all gone to plan, just highlight those tasks. The next three, for example, 4, 5, 6, could be 100% done. The electrician moving the fridge, 100% done. Disconnecting the water. I'm going to mark this as done, but just in a slightly different way. You can see here there's an option that says mark on track with a drop down, and we have an option to mark on track or update tasks. The update task we'll cover shortly. Mark on track just marks it up to today. So because I'm in the past effectively, it will mark it on track up to there. If I choose this task, however, remove all units, that crosses the today line and go to mark on track, you'll see that it takes us through, not right to the end of the project as 100%, because we're not that far as time goes. It takes us actually to the end of the current day. I don't know why it takes us to the end of the current day, but it does. It assumes that that day's work has been done. So you can see that this task is not fully complete. It's part complete, 61% in fact, if you hover. If we go into the task information, we can see here the percentage complete is 61%. This is also the box that you can use to set your completion to any percentage between obviously 0 and 100 if you don't want the straightforward quick buttons of 25, 50, 75 and 100. I'm just going to make that 60, so it's a nice rounder number. And you can see the line came in a little bit, but that task is now partly complete, not fully complete. Remove old sync, perhaps that's complete, 100%. So we have one method on the task ribbon, these little boxes for marking part of a task as done, or the whole task as done. And then we have mark on track, which has two options. The update task we'll look at shortly. Mark on track marks the selected task or tasks up to and including the current date. If we then change the current date, so project information, let's move forward in time another week, say the middle of January. Okay, see that my date is now here, and we'll look at completing our record of completion a different way. If we go to the project ribbon, you'll see there's an update project option. And this has an open dialog box that allows us to do a number of things. We can update the work as complete through to, and you can see it's defaulted to today's date, by setting 0% to 100%, or by setting 0% or 100% complete only. Rescheduling uncompleted work to start after, and again it defaults to today's date, but I can go in and change that for the entire project or for the selected tasks. So where we are at the moment here, I've come in to update things, and what should have happened is this task here should now have been finished, clean up old rubble, etc., and remove old units. The rest of that should have been done. But if instead I come in and choose reschedule uncompleted work to start after, and again default to today's date, okay, watch what happens to these two tasks. They get moved forward in time. The remainder of this task, remove all units, has to be moved forward. so the task ends up split. The knock-on effect is then that the next task moves forward, and project has actually added some constraints to say this task starts no earlier than, which is its way of pushing all those tasks forward. However, in the way that I've built my particular project, I wouldn't need those constraints because the relationship between these other tasks would cause them to move forward anyway. Because that's dependent on that has been moved forward by the split, and then all of these are then dependent on the previous one, so they will all move forward as well. So these little soft constraints, notice they have the little blue icon in them, are not actually a requirement, but project has placed them in because that's what it does when you ask it to reschedule. If I then move forward in time again, project information, let's go forward another week. This time we've been a little more healthy and actually got things done. So I want to go to update project and say update work is complete all the way through to the 11th. So everything that should have been done by the 11th has been done by the 11th. Okay, and you can see that things then get updated. That has also given me a status bar, which is the date update 2 has placed on there. If I don't want the status date, then I can go in there and return that to NA, which means I don't get a status date. So we can mark tasks on the task ribbon using the 0 to 100% or mark on track, or go into the task information and physically place a percentage in the percentage complete box. Once the percentage complete reaches 100%, you will get a tick in the indicator column, or we can go to project and update project, but you can access the same option through here where it says mark on track. Update tasks brings you into a similar dialog box, but with a little bit more information, because we can actually access the notes here. We can actually put in a real duration rather than just project, update project, which will move the completion of a task up to today's date or reschedule up to and therefore after today's date, which has then physically split this task because part of it was already done, so it's moved the rest forward. So there's a few ways of updating your tasks. Whichever method you use will suit whatever kind of update you're trying to carry out. But each of these bits of information are now stored in your project file, so you can use it to make comparisons to where you were or where you should have been at this point.